Hey everybody, it's Trigger Bar Philosopher. Welcome back out to the channel. Today we have an exciting episode. We're going to be taking a look at a new digital scope with some night power capabilities. Hopefully it's getting dark enough out here that we'll be able to see some of it. Let's get shooting. Okay, so first up, let's just take a look at the setup. We've got this Commander NV-400 from OneLeaf on top of the rifle. And I want to give a shout out to the folks over at OneLeaf who did send this optic out for me to review and are allowing me to keep it afterwards. So I want to thank them for that. There will be some links and codes and all of those things in the comments below. So check that out if that's something you're interested in or don't. And you know, guess I'm only going to allow Turkey's Opinion to use those codes. No one else is allowed to. And sorry, guys, this is just for the Turkey's Opinion. Back on topic, though, let's take a look at this excellent scope. I would call this very much in the budget range. It does, again, have night vision capabilities, but it's a 4K video camera, and that 2:26 zoom is really its digital zoom. Probably is a 2 optic on it, and then can digitally zoom up to 26. And so we're going to be shooting some targets downrange at 100 yards, but then we've got a whole bunch of steel that go out to as far as 250 yards. So yeah, this is what the range and the capability we're going to do. We're going to shoot a little bit here in daytime. We're going to talk about the scope and some of its features. It does come with a rangefinder, which is really cool. I think in many of the scopes, that's either something that you can buy as a side product. Also, this one did come with an infrared light on it, so for helping you see at night when it's too dark and it's not bright enough out, it can shed a little bit more focused light on that. And then let's just take a look at some of the features up on here. Of course, there's a whole menu system inside, and I'll try to overlay some images from their website, but allows you to click through some of the options, quickly turn off the camera, turn on the camera, shift between night vision mode and not, play some of the videos, change your brightness settings, things like that. We're definitely going to be overlaying some of those videos as we take a look at it today and do some shooting. So daylight shooting, you got to put this little lens cap on to filter out some of the lightness. And then as it's getting towards dusk like us, and then nighttime shooting, you want to have the full light coming into it. Again, it can shoot 4K, up to 4K, 120 frames per second. But they recommend doing only 30 frames per second in night vision mode so that each frame gets enough exposure and you get a good enough video quality. Hopefully we'll get a lot of that done in our shooting today. There is a menu option for zeroing the rifle, and you hold one of the crosshairs on where you have the bullet impacted, and then you put the other crosshair on where you were aiming. In fact, you leave it where it's aiming, and then you can adjust these dials over, left, right, down. And then you can move the other crosshair so that it lines up where your bullet impacted. So one is on where you aimed and one is on where you impacted. You set, and then it does the adjustment. It also has I think 7 different settings for various bullet drops. So you can have, in this case, I'm going to be shooting 308, 130 grain, going somewhere around 3,000 feet per second. I tell it what I zeroed it at. I tell its ballistic coefficient. You can enter all of that data in. We're going to see as we go out to further and further ranges how it's still able to do that, and it just makes that adjustment for you with the rangefinder and other things like that. You do need to make sure that that's legal in your state for any type of hunting. Of course, we're just out here at the range doing some target practice, but that's something for you to consider if you are doing any nighttime or other types of hunting, fur bearers or other things like that, if you're allowed to use auto-adjusting scopes in your hunt. Okay, so first up, as we start the shooting, we just do a long hold on this button on the side. It's kind of highlighted in green. And eventually you'll see the OneLeaf symbol popping up as you are starting to boot up the system. That's definitely another thing to consider when you are looking at a digital type zoom, is that it does take a little while to boot and for the reticle to come up. And so, if you're sitting in your tree stand and this thing turns off, that's not going to work for you. It does have a few different battery options with it. And in fact, it comes with batteries included in the system. And then there are different caps based on the battery power that you are going to be using. And they are rechargeable. So I'll put up in the top what the standard one is, and then there's one for this IR light as well. But it works in many ways like a regular scope. You're going to use your diopter up here to focus. You're also at the setting, instead of like doing your magnification, there's also additional clarification that happens with that setting up front when you're focusing it on your target. So let's get to zeroed. Okay, so for a far away focus, it's about what it should be. You can see our range there. Now we're going to use the digital zoom to zoom in on our target. You can see that gets pretty good. We're probably going to get some more clarification, or adjust our diopter and our clarity just a little bit more. So we can really see those grid lines pop. Getting a little bit of a balance between both of these settings. Okay, let's load up some rounds. We'll just take a couple of shots, see what we can get. Here we go. Okay, that's a little 3-shot group. That is not a bad little group with my regular scopes that I'm using. So yeah, all right, so let's take this out. We're going to just move this over to the 115 yard range. A little bit more clarity. We're zoomed in pretty far. Maybe I'll back it out just a little bit so it's not quite as kind of hazy and fuzzy around the edges. Nice solid gong. We are now going to go out to 150 yards. Hit one of the smaller plates. Good solid hit on that. We'll go out to, this is 175. It could be 150. I don't know. I could be getting some of this wrong. Let's see if we can get a small plate out there. Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so we're going to take a look out here. I don't know if you can see that now, but it's telling me that's 165 yards out there. Okay, let's shoot that little popper at 165 yards. Hit. That's pretty good. And then we're going to go out a little bit further. And that is at 218. Let's try to hit this little popper. Hit. So normally I'm going for the big old things, but got a little bit more space now. That's 218. Let's go over here. This is sitting at 237 is what the rangefinder is saying to me. Hit. 236. And then we're going to go as far as out as the range goes. And that's saying 250. Thought that was supposed to be 300, but there we go. Nice hit. And we're out of ammo. All right, well, point taken. I'm going to save the rest just for a few more minutes. Okay, 250 yards. Hit. The other plate. Hit. Okay, just another little for example. We've got the 150 grain AAC ammunition. I got a suppressor on so the left right shift, and I just zeroed for a new target. So we're going to hit record here so you can see what I'm doing. We'll zoom in again. Yeah, we're good. So you can see things starting to get a little grainy. I did just zero with another grain weight bullet, and I just want to make sure that we're on for that. And I have a suppressor on now. Yeah, we're right on. Yep. Yep, we're on. Pretty good vision. Oh, and one other thing I forgot to mention is you can put it on first focal plane or second focal plane. And look out there, now getting pretty grainy. It's our night mode now with it. And now back to day mode. See, pretty grainy with this. Doesn't look super dark out. You can just tell everything's just getting a little grainier. Looks a lot darker. Try and see if I can capture that. I think what that light is, it's probably from the rangefinder. If you can see that light, it's kind of flashing near the reticle. Don't know if it'll show up in the video. We'll see. But I did just use the rangefinder. Rangefinder is a one tap on the top of the lens. You're kind of in aiming mode. Oh, jeez, we got deer out there. Hey, come on, deer. You're not supposed to be there. Alright, can you tell if that's a buck or not? It's a little too grainy for me. A little too grainy. So out past 200 yards, I would say no, I can't tell. Say that would be a down deer. Could definitely hit it if I had whatever attack. It's way too dark. It would be illegal to hunt at this light. Yep, when I turn off the beam for the rangefinder, that's what's flashing in the camera. Alright, I got it now. Looks like a doe. Again, their antlers would not be big right now. Definitely looks like a doe. So that tells you again, and I will range find it right here for you. See, then when it's up like that, it looks like a buck for sure. 240 yards. I would guarantee you that that could be taken. There's another deer right behind it, laying down. But our night vision light is not enough. It's not enough to get the clarity that we need on that spot. Get back, get some nice footage of it. Pretty cool. In my eyes, I can't see squat. I wouldn't be able to tell you those things are out there at all if I didn't have this. Wouldn't be able to see them, 100%. I tried turning on the infrared beam. It's just not enough. Not powerful enough. Got something else back there moving around. It's looking back at us. That's pretty cool. A much smaller critter there. Don't know what it is. Could be a domestic cat. Could be a possum or raccoon. Pew 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 pew. Borrow from my sea does. And that's our deer. Hello deer, thanks for coming out. This makes it a little bit more interesting. Oh, and there's another one. A little closer. That's kind of fun. again, you could see it enough to take your shot. Can you tell what the animal is? But I don't know that in the use for that, like are you checking male or female hogs that you hunt at night? Not for sure. Not, you definitely don't check for coyotes or other animals, but very cool. Very, 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 very cool. So I definitely can see a little bit of brightness. Turn that spotlight off, or the infrared light off. You can almost see them better. Just kind of washing them out. There's our target. I am not going to shoot a group. My apologies, everyone. It is against my range rules to shoot after dark. So I'm just doing this. Gun is unloaded, gun is safe. That's the way it is. Check back in at our critters. So I'd definitely say the edge of this range is past 150 yards. I wouldn't shoot anything. You can definitely, if you're doing coyotes, I think you can still make it out that it's a coyote out at 200, past 200. But any other kind of wildlife hunting at dark, I wouldn't do it. Something that you have to care about, male, female, anything like that. Can do it. Hogs for sure, coyotes, yes. Definitely wouldn't go. I mean, you could do 300. You could make it out at 300 or 250. I mean. So, cool. And the whole family's out now. See a whole herd coming out of there. They always come out at this range. They only care about coming out at the shooting range and never at my hunting spots. Why is that? Okay, everybody, thanks for coming out tonight, and hope everyone had a good time. I really am liking this OneLeaf NV-400. I think they have a great product out. Is it ready to replace night vision thermals that you can spend thousands and thousands of dollars on? Heck no, right? This is a budget one. And, you know, people that you can afford. I can tell you what I think this is going to be a fun one for. I think it's going to be very popular when we take it out with my kids, out with family members. They can see as they're shooting it, and they can have a video of them taking their shots. And I think that that's a super fun thing. I think definitely just the scope by itself is I'm going to have a lot of fun with. Hopefully I can get out and do some nighttime hunting with it, but that may be a while. I don't really have something set up to be able to do that in my area. But so this is going to be extent of it. We're going to be doing some animal watching. I think for animal watching, this is great. This is a great option. You saw me hit gongs throughout the whole thing on this. And I would feel comfortable shooting those animals at that site. Of course, you wouldn't shoot deer at this dark of night, but if you're shooting hogs or coyotes or some fur bearer that you're allowed to shoot at nighttime, this scope's a good thing. It says it can go out to much further ranges than what it's saying. I think practical ranges is 250 and in, is what I would say. And that's sort of minute of animal on it. Again, not enough resolution out past 200 yards to tell if it's a buck or a doe. So that might be important in the type of hunting that you're doing and depending on where you're doing it at. So let me know what you guys think about the scope. Would you like me to see other things? I'm pretty excited about it. Again, thank you to OneLeaf. Sure, could I be biased about this? Yeah, absolutely. But I tell you what, I can also be biased about things I buy because I'm personally invested in that. Less invested this. I thought that this was just going to be a novelty and a fun little thing. I'm actually pleasantly surprised having it out here at night. What it can do, is it going to be just get this instead of some night vision or instead of a really good thermal or some other, more expensive one? Heck no. Again, but you're not paying that price either. So let me know what you guys think. Is this something fun that you'd like to see more of? Is this something fun that you're looking into getting? I know I was pretty curious about it, and that's why I agreed to do it. So again, thank you people at OneLeaf, and thank you everybody for watching, and let's get to shooting.